How's it going, everyone? My name is Chips, and in this video I'll be showing you how to build this Adobe workshop, which I used in my Scorched Earth 100 Days video. This is going to be a step-by-step walkthrough tutorial with voiced over instructions so you can get this build on your arc. And on the screen right now you will see a full list of building materials that you will need for this build, as well as the map chords where I built this on Ragnarok. You can also find all of this in the description below if you would like to quickly copy and paste it over to your own device. But with all of that said, I just want to tell you all thank you so much for being here today, checking out this video, and let's go ahead and let's get to building. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is place down our foundation. So as you can see, I already have one Adobe foundation placed. I'm going to come in here and place one more in front of it. I'll place two more here to the side of it. Then I'm going to place 2 rows of 5 next to that. Next, I'm going to come in one foundation and place a row of 4. I'll come over again and place 2 rows of 6, starting right here. Then starting right here, I'll place a row of 7. And now I'm going to come around here to this side, and starting right here on the 3rd foundation in, I'm going to place 4 more. And do that one more time. So this will make up the foundation for our build, so just go ahead and switch all of those Adobe foundations to block. Next, we're going to add some pillars here on this side. Starting off with this second Adobe foundation, we'll place a wooden fence foundation on the edge of it. Right here on this snap point, we're going to add 6 high Adobe pillars. And on the other snap point on the other side of the fence foundation, we will add 4 high Adobe pillars. We're going to come to the back of the build here and do the same thing on this foundation. 6 on the outside and 4 on the inside. Now we're going to come to the inside, and on one of these middle 2 foundations, we'll add another wooden fence foundation. And then we will get out an Adobe Dinosaur gateway and snap it right here in the middle. Now we're going to come out here to this outside ledge, and right here on this foundation, we'll add another wooden fence foundation. And on this corner, we're going to add 5 high Adobe pillars. We'll go ahead here to the other corner and do the same thing here on this foundation. And now we're going to come to one of these middle 2 foundations and again place a wooden fence foundation. And then right here in the center, place 5 high Adobe pillars. Next, we're going to come in right here, and on the side of this Adobe foundation, we're going to add a wooden fence foundation. On this outside corner, we're going to place 6 high Adobe pillars. And on the other side of that, we're just going to place 2 high Adobe pillars. We'll place another wooden fence foundation right here. And in this inside corner, we'll again place 2 high Adobe pillars. Now we're going to come in line with this middle Adobe pillar, and you're just going to go ahead and place a pillar out like this. It's actually snapping to that pillar. Go ahead and add one more on top of it, and do this 2 more times. Continuing here on this side, we'll come into the side of this foundation and place a wooden fence foundation. On the outside corner, we'll add 2 high Adobe pillars, and on the other side, we'll place 1 Adobe pillar. We'll skip this foundation and come to this one and do the same thing, place a wooden fence foundation, but we're going to place 1 Adobe pillar on each side. We're going to go ahead and skip this foundation and come to this one right here, and again place a wooden fence foundation, and then on the inside snap point, we're going to add 2 high Adobe pillars. We're going to come around to the back side and place another wooden fence foundation right here on this foundation. And on this inside corner right here, we're going to add 6 high Adobe pillars. Now back on the side that has our Adobe gateway, we're going to come in here first between these 2 pillars and place 6 high Adobe walls. In the very next spot, we'll start off by placing 4 Adobe walls. Then we'll place an Adobe Doorframe, fill it in with a wooden door, and add another wall. We'll go to the other end down here and do the exact same process. Now we're going to come up here to the top of our walls and place an Adobe Ceiling hanging in from this wall, just like this. Go ahead and continue placing these until you reach the other wall on the front side. Now we can come back where we have that gateway, and we're first going to hang down an Adobe Wall from each ceiling, followed by an Adobe Doorframe and a wooden door. And then finally we'll come down here a little bit and place one more Adobe Wall coming down from each of those. Now we're going to come in here where we have the 4-high Adobe Pillar and place a wooden ceiling right here to the side of it and add one more coming out. Do this again here on the other end. Now we're going to go ahead and get out wooden catwalks, and we're going to connect a line of catwalks between each set of ceilings. So it should be 4 catwalks between each set. And then go ahead and also place a wooden catwalk here between these 2 wooden ceilings. Now you may need to rotate the snap point using whichever key or button is appropriate for your system so that it places like this. Go ahead and continue taking a line of these across, and if you get it green and it doesn't place, you may need just to turn and look at it from a different angle till you find a spot that'll let it place. Now that we have all of these catwalks placed, we're going to go ahead and get out a giant Adobe Hatchframe and place it just like this, connected to those wooden ceilings. And do that again here on the other end. And now you can go ahead and pick up or destroy all 4 of those wooden ceilings. And you can also pick up or destroy this wooden catwalk that hangs out here on the end. Alright, so now the last thing we're going to do to get the crossed look is we're going to get out wooden catwalks again. And you'll see you can replace this one right here, so go ahead and replace it. And do that again right here. And then just bring one more out from them. And then do this again here in the other section. Now here again at the top, we're going to get out a wooden railing and place one right here on this Adobe Hatchframe. Place another one right here and just continue going around the outside of it. We're also going to come in here to the middle and place 2 on each of these sides so that we have 4 total. Now we're going to go over here to the side down below and place an Adobe stair coming up right here as well as right here, and do the same thing on the other end. And then finally we'll go ahead and fill in this gateway with an Adobe Gate. Alright, now here on the side where we have that one foundation sticking out, we're first going to come to this foundation next to the pillar and place 5 Adobe walls on this foundation. We'll do that again over here on this foundation next to this pillar. Now here on the middle foundation, we're first going to place a wooden fence foundation. Get out an Adobe Wall and make sure you're getting it on that fence foundation so that you have that lip with the regular foundation. Get out another Adobe Wall and make sure this time you're placing it on the regular foundation so that we now have 2 Adobe Walls there. Now we're going to go ahead and place another Adobe Wall on the backmost wall. Again, make sure you have the lip from the other wall. Now we're just going to go ahead and place 2 Adobe Doorframes on top of that. Fill those in with wooden doors and place one more Adobe Wall on top of those. Now on this single foundation hanging out of our front, we're first going to go ahead and place an Adobe Wall, followed by a sloped Adobe Wall right, an Adobe Wall here on the front, another one here on this side, and a sloped Adobe Wall left, and then of course fill that in with a sloped wooden roof. Now on the back side of the build, we're first going to come to this foundation on the far left, and again place 5 high Adobe Walls on this foundation. We'll come to the foundation next to this pillar, and again right here we'll place 5 high Adobe Walls. Just be careful, we have a fence foundation there, so make sure you're getting it on the regular foundation. Then we'll come here to the middle and place a wooden fence foundation on each of these foundations. Go ahead and get out your Adobe Wall, and again make sure this time you're getting it on that fence foundation so that we have the lip of the foundation, and then place one more in front of them on the actual foundation. And again, finally, make sure you place one on top of that backmost wall on each one so that we have the lip of the walls in front of them. Go ahead and place 2 high Adobe door frames on each one and fill them in with wooden doors, and then add one more Adobe wall on top of each of those. Now here above where we just placed those walls, we're going to get out a wooden catwalk and place it right here above these 2 walls. Place 2 more to the right of it. We'll then get out an Adobe wall and place one right here, as well as one here on this end, leaving the middle open for now. I'm now going to head to the front of the build, and I'll start right here by placing another wooden catwalk just like this, and take one more to the right, and then again I'll place an Adobe wall on the 2 end spots. Next, we're going to come in here to this spot and place 6 high Adobe walls on this foundation. We'll do that in the very next spot as well. Now we'll turn here, and on these 3 foundations that we have right here, we're going to first place a wooden fence foundation. Then we're going to get out an Adobe Doorframe, and you're going to want to place it on the foundation itself, not the fence foundation. Do that in each spot. Next, we're going to get out a wooden railing, and this time you're going to need to rotate the snap point using whichever key or button is appropriate for your system to get it placing on that fence foundation. So it should be behind that door frame. Go ahead and add one more on top and repeat in the other 2 spots. Once you have that placed, just go ahead and add an Adobe wall on top of each of those door frames. Now on this side, we'll start off between the 2 high and 1 high pillar by placing an Adobe Doorframe and filling in with a wooden door. Then we'll place an Adobe Windowframe on top and fill that in with a wooden window. In the next 3 spots, we'll place 1 high Adobe walls, followed by an Adobe Windowframe on top of them, and fill each of those in with wooden windows. Here on the back side, we'll first place an Adobe Doorframe in this spot and fill that in with a wooden door, and place an Adobe wall on top of it. Then we'll place 2 Adobe walls right here to the right of it. Now on this outside portion, we'll first place 2 Adobe walls right here, as well as right here. In the next spot, we'll place an Adobe wall, followed by a sloped Adobe wall right, and then we will place 4 more Adobe walls as we go around this outside. Next, we're going to come in right here and place an Adobe stair coming down from each of these foundations. We'll then go ahead and place a sloped Adobe wall left right here. We're going to come around to the inside here and fill in this spot with an Adobe Ceiling and hang 2 Adobe stairs down from it. Now we're going to come up top and take 4 Adobe Ceilings going right here. Do that again right here. Now come back here to this front corner and just place 2 more Adobe Ceilings. So there's these 2 spots left open, and then add 3 more hanging out here on the front. Here where we just placed those ceilings hanging out, we're going to go ahead and first place an Adobe Windowframe, fill that in with a wooden window, and drop an Adobe Doorframe down from it. Go ahead and do that here on the front on these 3 spots as well. Now go ahead in here and get out a thatch ceiling, and we're going to place it right here hanging in. Do that again right here, and do it one more time right here and right here. Now we're going to get out Adobe walls and place them 2 high, making sure the green side is facing us. Do that again right here, turn here and do it again, and then turn and do it 2 more times in these spots. Once you have those placed, you can go ahead and pick up or destroy those thatch ceilings. Alright, this next step is going to be a big one, so follow along closely. So the first thing we're going to do is come over here between these two sets of Adobe walls, and we're going to place a wooden ceiling so that it overhangs the two of them in the middle. Add another one right here, one more right here, and one more right here. We're going to come back here to the end and place a Thatch Doorframe on top of that wall. We'll then place an Adobe Wall right here, turn and place one right here, place another one right here, and then finish it off with another Thatch Doorframe. Now we're going to come back over here to the start and get out a wooden wall and place it right here like this so that it is intersecting with that Thatch Doorframe. So you may need to rotate the snap point using whichever key or button is appropriate for your system, but place it just like that. We'll then place a wooden window frame right here, right here, right here, and right here. And then we'll place another wooden wall right here. Go ahead around to the back and place wooden walls going all along the ceilings. And now that you have that done, you can go ahead and replace those thatch door frames with Adobe walls, and you'll see the Adobe wall and wooden wall will intersect. Go ahead and do that again right here. Alright, now that we have that done, we're going to go ahead and place another layer of wooden ceilings here on top. And finally, we're just going to get out Adobe walls again and take another line of them on top of the ones we've already placed. Now we're going to come in here below this first wooden window frame and place two thatch door frames hanging down. Fill those in with wooden doors, and then go ahead and open the wooden doors inward like this. Now you can replace those door frames with thatch walls, and go ahead and pick up or destroy those thatch walls, and you'll see that our wooden doors will remain floating there up against the wall. We're going to go ahead and do this one more time right here. Now here at the top, we'll go ahead and fill in all of these open portions with Adobe ceilings. Here on the back side, we'll go ahead and get out an Adobe wall and hang it down from one of those ceilings, and do the same thing right here. It should be flush with the walls that we already have placed. Go ahead to the front and do the same thing in that one spot here at the front. Alright, so this is our last step as far as the outside of the build goes. So we're going to come in here to this ceiling and get out an Adobe Fence Foundation. And you may need to rotate the snap point using whichever key or button is appropriate for your system, but you want to get it so that it's placing on the edge. Go ahead and add another one right here. We'll come here and add one more right here. And then we'll just keep going around the edge of this level, surrounding these ceilings. Now that you have that level done, go ahead up here to the topmost ceiling and do the same thing all the way around this portion. Now here on the inside of our build, we're first going to come into this corner right here and get out a wooden catwalk. Go ahead and rotate the snap point using whichever key or button is appropriate for your system so that it places like this. Go ahead and continue placing these until we reach the other wall. Alright, now that we have those catwalks, we're going to back up here a little bit and get out a wooden ladder and just place it down so that you're able to climb on it. Go ahead and jump on and get out a vault. And then go ahead and jump off the ladder, and what this is doing is lining us up perfectly straight. So you can go ahead and walk this vault back to the back wall, and then walk it as far over as you'd want it. Go ahead and place that down, and continue placing these across. You should be able to get about 5 or 6 of them in here, depending on how many you want. So there we go, we have 5. So the next thing we're going to do is get back up on that wooden ladder. And we're going to look up this time and again get out a vault and jump off. And then go ahead and line it up with the other ones and walk it back until it pops up onto that catwalk. Go ahead and place that down. And again, just continue placing these across. Now that we have all of our vaults placed, you can go ahead and pick up or destroy that wooden ladder. And go ahead and turn here and get out an industrial forge. And it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. If you want it to, you can place another ladder and get it perfectly straight. But just make sure you walk it forward enough to where it's not sticking through that back wall. And go ahead and place that down there in the center of that portion. And then the next thing we're going to do is head over here to this door that leads underneath of our stairs. And get out an electrical generator. And just go ahead and bring it closer to you and place it down right here in the middle. So that's nice and tucked away here under these stairs. And now for this open area right here, this will be where you place all of your crafting stuff, like your fabricator, your smithy, all of that stuff. So it's really up to you on where you place what. I think I had my fabricator right here in the 100 days, and then I had my smithy right here, and then I had my chem bench right here. So it's really up to you. You can place it however you want. I will place some down, but I'm going to leave it up to you guys on how you want to actually put those. Alright everyone, that is going to do it for the building portion of this video. Now I am going to go ahead and apply a quick paint scheme, as well as bring in the rest of our crafting stations and run all of the electrical and whatnot. So guys, do me a favor and hang around for one more second, and I will walk you through all of that. Alright, so like I said, I applied a quick paint scheme, and it is a pretty simple one. I've just painted all of the Adobe structures with the tan color, all 6 regions, and then I've painted all of our wooden structures with the mud color for all 6 regions. So like I said, it's pretty simple, but I think it gives us a really clean and a nice contrasting look for our desert themed builds. We'll go ahead inside and show you how I have things set up. So right as we come in, you'll see I have the chem bench up nice and tight to our forge with some power running over to it. You can actually see the little dots from the flexible cables, but they are pretty well hidden as they make their way back to our generator. Then we have our fabricator, followed by our industrial grinder, and finally a smithy right over here. So everything is packed in here pretty tight. In my 100 days video, I didn't actually ever put down a grinder, but you are able to fit one in here with everything else. But everyone, that is going to do it for this video and build. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it was easy for you to follow along and get this done on your arc. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button, leave me some feedback in the comments below, and subscribe for future videos. But with all of that said, I just once again want to tell you all thank you so much for being here today, checking out this video. Have a great day.